Welcome to part 2 of the conversation on the Hollow Points podcast. If you have not heard part 1 of this episode, you might want to check that out first and then come back to this. Both are providing an aggressively therapeutic outlet on topics that many think about but are afraid to speak on. We actually made it to season 4. This should be our best work yet. Hope you enjoy our points of view.
Does it matter who left in the relationship? If the man decided to leave, should the woman automatically get some type of support?
I think that if she's a stay-at-home mom and that's something that they had going on, and he decided that he just want to leave, then yes, I think she should get some support.
Okay, so if she's a stay-at-home mom, let's keep that same scenario, and she decides to leave, should she also still get that support?
Say no, because I feel like she already got her plan.
Because she got her plan together?
I think that a woman ain't gonna make a move she ain't ready, she ain't got her stuff together.
So she should suffer if she don't have her plan yet. She should stay with them?
I ain't say that.
Where's she gonna go? Either she leaving or she staying. It ain't no middle.
She can. If a woman want to leave, let her leave. If a man want to leave, let him leave. If a man leaves and he knows that he's been providing for this person, it's been in their contract that they understand that she's staying at home taking care of everything, and he decides he just want to go,
No,
then I do think there should be a
but
sense of
we talking
child
about her.
support.
We talking about her. She decided to leave.
Okay, but let me finish.
Go ahead. I thought
So,
you look at that one.
huh?
Go ahead.
So if he decides that he wants to go, and she's been at home doing everything like that, I think that he should, and he's not gonna have the child. He's leaving the child behind. It ain't no 50-50. He need to pay child support, and I also think he needs to pay alimony for a certain period of time to, allow her to get established or whatever. If a woman is a stay-at-home mom and she decides to leave, then I would say she's leaving that situation. She don't have to get anything.
But should she?
If she's leaving, is she taking a baby?
We're talking about the alimony part.
Oh, the alimony part. If she's leaving, then I would say no. Unless he beating on her or something like that. If she has to leave like a situation where her life's at stake, then yeah, you need to pay something.
You know how easy it is to make accusations if it's that simple that I can leave with nothing or I can make an accusation and leave with stuff. Why would I ever leave with nothing?
It seems like a lot of women who just want to be done, who are coming out of those situations, don't even want nothing from it. They don't want nothing to be connected.
What women are these?
Where are these?
I'm telling y'all, what,
They with the
99,
men.
2000?
Them women is
I'm
with
into
the
that
men
trash.
that want to take care of their kids without a problem. That Oprah know, all of them. That's where they at. Yeah, just what she said is unbelievable, just as much as what the hell he said was.
They would take care
In
of
my
the kids
opinion.
without a problem. So let's go to you. Do you think that there is a cap on child support?
Do I believe that there should be a cap on child support?
Should be, yeah.
Yes, I do. I honestly do. And like I said, I know that they say, well, I don't know what every state says, but I know what the state of Illinois says and what the money can be used for. And I do know that there is a lot of women out there that misuse the money. And I don't like that. But then I also know that there are some women out there that do exactly what they're supposed to do. And I know that there's some men out there that do exactly what they're supposed to do. And the kids benefit greatly. But it seems like the situation we talking about is a bitter split that has affected the kids, and that's never going to be good.
I think most splits are bitter.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And that's when you need to separate your feelings.
You should.
Yes. And I think that's the problem. That's the solution we need to get to.
I don't think we can get to that. Well, we could, but
that's what I was gonna say. We can. We don't want to.
We don't.
And that's because it's unfortunate, because I would assume that it's whoever makes the most money who is spending the most. And like I said, that's more than likely what I'm used to, being the man. But I know that there are women. I've heard of women out there that pay a lot of money in child support and a lot of money in spousal support, but it's not as much as it is men, because men typically are the breadwinner.
So your friend on the podcast said that I don't think that was your friend, but one of the ladies said that men benefit most from marriage. Do you agree with that?
I would hope not. Like, to me, that benefit from the marriage, but like, do I think Chris benefits from our marriage more than me? No, I don't. I don't. I don't
What?
think that's a
So explain that
third. You
letter.
know,
Why you think he don't benefit
I
the
think it's
most?
an equal. I don't. I don't think we're. I don't think it would be 70-20. I mean, if
Mhm.
that's the case, that's just or 70-30. I'm sorry, my math is off. That would just be miserable.
Mm.
But the thing of it is, I think also people say a lot of things sensationally that wants to cause an argument, that wants to cause these problems. Everything doesn't. We as Black people need to stop trying to make everything a problem. And that's where we're at. We split, that's the problem. Now the kids suffer. We got to argue about what they eat, when they get braces, what sports they play, how many pairs of shoes they got. Like, let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop and just focus on these kids. You give me this, or I say I make more. I give you this money. When you have the kids, you do what you want. When I have the kids, I do what I want. And then another thing too is you have these same people that say that, Brent, and I'm talking to you, that you want to be in on all the decisions, right?
Absolutely.
How many and please be honest, okay?
Mhm.
If she called you 4 times, how many times are you answering?
If she calls me, what do you mean? Like back to back?
What I
I didn't
mean,
get the
like,
first
is
one.
if you feel like you're being treated unfairly in the courts and in this custody situation, if she calls you and your phone rings, you're gonna look over at that phone and answer immediately?
No.
Okay. But you won't in on all of the decisions, but you won't even answer all of the phone calls. We have to be better than that.
Well, we have other ways to communicate because that doesn't.
See, yeah, I'm not, but in my generation, I'm just
Mhm.
speaking for me. In
Mhm.
my generation, I'm not going to text you no book.
The problem with that
Why can't
is
we get on the phone and talk about our
I
kids?
can tell you
Like
why.
you,
Because
like I
it
said,
got to this point.
you need
Yeah.
50-50 on all the decisions, but I want to talk about it and you want to text about it. Like I said, it's just too
The reason
much.
why is
But
because you need
that
some
is
kind of background. You
that
need some kind of backup
it's
because we
actually
got to this point because you're not negotiating fairly. We
in
got
good
to this
faith.
point because you're not being
But
reasonable.
but
So therefore, I need some
in,
documentation of how this went down.
yeah, that's actually in the mediation
My
to
God.
communicate.
Yeah.
Because
And that's,
you haven't been communicating that. If I pick up the phone and all of the previous times you have been, hey, I'm here right now at the doctor's order and you owe this amount, that's not how you negotiate. If you don't know how to negotiate.
listen, I'm telling you, we had that situation.
Mhm.
We had that situation. And it's just like, pay it. If the baby at the doctor, you're gonna be like, well, what you take her to the doctor for? You ain't got $20 if she calling you for it and the baby there. You might as well go ahead and let that burn.
Let me say something that you're not saying out loud.
Okay.
Not every woman, second woman, new woman that you're with is going to put up with the other woman or the baby mama having that type of control over y'all finances.
It wasn't control. I wasn't caring
No,
about her. I was
listen
caring
to me
about
though.
the
Listen to
kids.
what I'm saying in essence.
Because I'm
Listen to.
grown
I
enough,
understand
a
you.
woman
We're
enough
not talking
to
about you. We're not
separate
talking
my
about you. We're
feelings.
talking about
But
a
we're
regular
talking,
chick. We're
but
talking
we're
about a
talking
regular
about the
chick, okay?
kids.
Under
But we're
normal
talking about the
circumstances, a
children.
regular chick is not going to let for the baby mama to be able to call whenever she feels like it and dictate the terms. And then she's just like, just pay her, just pay it, just give money, just throw money out there, good with the bad.
Yeah.
Normal women don't do that. So you're acting like that's common. It's very uncommon,
It's very
and it
uncommon.
doesn't happen.
And there's no such thing as a braces emergency.
Oh my God.
But what I'm saying is, but what the point I'm trying to make is we've gotten away from it being about the kids.
That's how we got to
And
the point. We got there. Yeah.
that's what I champion are the healthy kids, because I wouldn't want my child to see this back and forth between me and her father.
Sometimes they have to see that. So
What?
a young lady, a sweet young little girl, raised by Coach Reed alone, I think that'll be a dangerous girl, and I will fear for any relationship she would ever have. So I think she would need both parents and both types of nurturing. So sometimes you have to show a boy how to defend himself against a woman who's going to use the court against
A
them.
tyrannical woman, yes.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. You don't want to, but sometimes that's necessary.
How do you do that?
If it happens in your face, you have to defend yourself in their face. You have to defend yourself in their face.
In
You
real
can't come
time, and
and
then you
say,
explain it.
"Oh,
And
she's
then you
punking me,"
compare it.
but let's talk about this later in private. No, that don't happen.
Because you ain't about to be punked, huh?
Punked in front of my kid.
Not in front of the kid, right? Like that. That's
No,
a whole different
no.
level of punking.
Right. So you have to stand up and fight.
Go ahead. Go ahead, T.
I was gonna ask just as much as um you would like, I guess it's for Oberon, just as much as you would like for her to have had conversations with you before she made decisions. Did you always offer that same courtesy, or were there times you had to make decisions on the fly?
Decision that I paid 100%
That's what I
for,
was going to say.
I
Oh my
always
God.
made it on my own. If I needed her in it, then yes, I would discuss it with her first. Yes. But if I did not ask her for anything, just like a car, I'm not asking you for any money. Do you think he should get a Mitsubishi? No, I'm paying 100% for it. And that's just me as a man. And if I'm with another woman, what am I calling her for? But if we're making the purchase together, yes.
Let me ask you this, T. As a woman, you and your husband happen to split for whatever reason, good, bad, or indifferent. Do you think that you would find yourself challenging his commitment to the children by making sure that when you call, he answers, or that he got a turnaround time where, I called you about something and you didn't get back to me on this, or I sent you this bill and they said you still ain't paid it. Would you be managing him to be a suitable father?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I don't know. But I've told Tony
What would
this.
change that? What would change the think? What would sway it one way or the other?
It's I'm emotional.
Oh, okay.
So you just never know. But
That's the
I've
problem
always
that we
told,
was talking about. You putting emotions in it, not what's best for the child.
well, if you let me finish,
Okay.
you done?
You started with I'm emotional.
Okay. Well, hold on, let me finish.
She
What I was
didn't. She made
trying to
it that
say
middle.
was that I've always told my husband that I see the father that he is, and I see how my kids have their relationship with him. And when they're with dad, it's one thing, and when it's with mom, it's one thing or whatever. And if me and him did not work out, if it wasn't something because he's done something to the kids or anything like that, which I don't, my husband wouldn't do that. If it's just between us, then I would like to keep whatever we got. That's between us. Him not being a good husband to me does not mean that he's a bad father. And that's a conversation. If we was to break up, then at some point they get older, that might be something they wanted. If it was something that he did, or if it was something I did, they would have to, maybe they get older, maybe a conversation they would want to have or talk about. But I wouldn't put them in the middle of that, and I wouldn't determine his fatherhood based on me and in his relationship. I hope that we could still to be able to communicate, that we can still co-parent. Heck, I even tell the man, I was like, listen, with the way people talk about this day situation is, I'm gonna come over here and give me a little something. He's like, get your crazy stuff on. But
Right.
that's just like, you ain't never leaving me for real. But I don't think I would. I don't think I would take. I could separate him being a father and him being a husband.
Let me ask you one last question, and I apologize, just to pressure test your perspective on this. You and your
Mhm.
husband are divorced.
Mhm.
He gets with a young lady. She could be
Mhm.
white, she could be young, she could be whatever. But
Mhm.
she's a young lady. She has 2 children.
Mhm.
You find out that she, and the children are going to Hawaii.
Mhm.
Have your kids ever been to Hawaii?
Uh,
Do you have a problem with that? Because he's taking her kids to Hawaii before your kids got to be taken to Hawaii.
no, because they probably gone somewhere else.
Okay. Okay.
And if I want them, I could get them.
You can get what?
My
Don't
man
answer that,
back.
T. T. Don't.
It's too late. It's too late.
Damn. Tried to help you.
So I think I know the answer to this, but I'll ask both of y'all. Is there an issue if you and Chris split up
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an issue with his house being better than yours?
No, because Chris makes way more than me, so I would expect that for him.
Well, not with the percentages that I'm losing in this
Why are
union.
you losing percentages?
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tracy?
Yeah, I don't need the court. I don't need the court. I
No,
don't
but
need the court because I'm much harder on our kid than he is. So she probably dang sure going to. She said no. If something happened to y'all, I'm going to stay with dad. Oh, that's cool.
It's a danger in that. I warned y'all earlier.
Well, I mean, I know what the danger is, and then she'd be whispering and calling me on the phone, and I'm like, no, he got it. You got it, bro. Y'all got it. Yeah.
So I
So,
think
no,
that's
Legend.
y'all are not common. That's not a common.
Right. My thing is, listen, I'm not gonna argue, and this is what I tell everybody that I know that has broken up with someone or is divorced from someone. It does not make sense that y'all argue just as much when y'all ain't together that y'all did when y'all were. That makes no sense to
Of
me.
course.
Something going on.
It's
Because if
so,
you give a person just as much energy as you was giving them when y'all were together, what is we doing? Y'all need to reevaluate this whole thing.
so it's a they publish how much you should get or should expect if you're the father of your children are on child support. So that's with you doing everything. If you have a father who likes to take their, let's say they and their son likes Air Force Ones and they like to
Right.
take them shopping or they like to do that stuff, that percentage that they publish takes that away from you. And it says that she's supposed to buy all of that.
Okay.
So if she is vindictive, she will use that percentage and say, you're only sending me this much because you're buying all the school clothes, but I want it all. That stuff happens all the time. It's not, it's then the mediators are very busy. The courts are very busy because that maximum is published. And if a large percentage of women are not getting that maximum, and you could still do whatever you used to do or you want to do as a plus, but I want that maximum is what's happening.
Now let me ask you this. Is this money that's just like automatically come out your check before you get it? Or is this money that you're giving them on your own, where it's not like court order, where they're like, like the government, like it's like state taxes, like they taking it out and you ain't even seeing it? Or
Like
if this
garnishment.
money, yes, or is this money that you're giving them on your own? Because like you just said, if the mediators is busy, then hey, he may want Air Force Ones, but he may get these just
Pro-Wing
these.
classics.
But
I wasn't gonna
I
say
mean,
pro
if that's how
classics.
y'all bonded, why can't that continue? But I
Oh, it
think
can.
I
It
think
can.
I think that does make a difference. So good question. The
I
child
mean, because like I said, if the mediator busy, then just do your part, and then like my husband would say, they don't have to catch me for this whooping. If you feel like what you're doing is fair and it's for the kid, then do that until the courts will be like, oh no, sir, then you need to do this. And so that's what I need. But like I said, like I said, we have to get to the point where it's about the kid and the
we
and
should. Yeah.
go back to the alimony and all this and that. Like I said, I think times are a lot different when people were getting alimony. Like if you have a couple that was married, say 60, like I have a cousin who ain't never worked, ain't never drove. So if her and her husband split up, she don't like how is she gonna take care of herself?
So if she leaves him, she should get alimony because she hasn't done anything to help support or promote herself as an adult?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It shouldn't matter who leaves.
Who
So
should
so
pay
she
for her
should
driving lessons?
what you say?
Who should pay for her driving lessons?
She's too old for that now. It's not gonna happen. But I'm just giving that as an
No,
example.
no,
No,
I
but I'm
think
being real. I'm being
I'm
100%
being real.
authentic.
I'm
Y-
being real too. I think she
Yeah,
would probably want to learn to drive.
I
I'm
guarantee you
using
she
that
would.
as an
And her
example.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Let's say
50 plus years.
okay.
She's never worked and never drove.
Let's say
If
she's
they were to
40.
split, whoever leaves who, she should get nothing from him.
It is my belief that people who are like that, who are so dependent on another person, wouldn't know what to do with the money anyway.
It
Like they
wouldn't
don't
matter
they
if you wouldn't know what to do with it. You wouldn't have any. Like she has, for whatever reason, stayed home taking care of the home, which raised the kids, which is a job. Like we're talking, like this is what was done years ago. Now these aren't the modern parents couples nowadays. These are, I'm talking years ago. Let's just keep it real. Her job was the house and the kids. And his job was to work and bring the money in. Like I said, she's never worked. She's never driven. They split, don't matter who split from who. She deserves nothing. Is that what y'all are saying?
No, what we're saying is she deserves half the assets because they built or established all the assets together.
Definitely.
But for
Okay.
him to have a
Definitely.
lifelong payment that he has to provide her, because nobody else gonna marry her. You know, alimony is set up to where when she gets remarried, the alimony is done at that point in time.
Right.
But
Right.
at her age, let's
Right.
say our women, let me just say this, and I'm not saying they're doing this because they're bitter. They're doing this because they're fearful. They choose not to get married. They choose to go with a dude because that check is still coming in and it's something that they can count on because as you stated, they don't have a 401k. They don't have anything. They gave the good years to this guy. Now they're giving the good stuff to this new guy, but keep getting a check from the old guy because they're not crossing the threshold of getting married to someone new because they're fearful of that check running out. And
But
then
there are some that do, and the
Well,
check runs out.
that was my grandmother. Well, I know two women. Like my grandmother never got remarried because she always was like, I'm not gonna give up these benefits or whatever like that.
Oh.
And she dated for a long time after, but she never remarried after my grandfather passed. And so,
hustler.
But
you know,
there are women who was getting alimony, a lot of money, and then found a new relationship and got into a relationship and married and stopped getting that money. There are women that do that as
It's
well.
examples of everything. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I
So
know
yeah.
someone who was like that, and it ended up screwing her too because they end up getting a divorce, and it's
Well,
some
didn't
the
screw her. I
benefit.
mean,
That's right.
didn't screw her. You know,
Well,
you
well, I'm not
moved
saying he
on.
tried. He
You
tried to.
moved
Should
on
have never
for
fell in
love,
love again.
and that love didn't work out either. So it might be her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Well, I'm
Problem,
saying
right.
the benefits that she had,
Yeah.
which were military,
Right.
were then like cut
Yeah, and they should have
severed.
been. She moved
And
on.
then
Right.
she moved on,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
it got
On her.
yeah. And then
it
she
got
fucked that shit up too.
Right.
cut again. So it's just like maybe my grandma was on something.
But
It's
like you
tough.
said, but your grandfather was deceased, and she was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, it wasn't like she split from him and it was
Mm-hmm.
bitter. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that's
Yeah.
kind of that, and your just like Chris's great grandmother, she never remarried, and her husband died, and she was in her 40s, and grandma never got remarried,
Mm-hmm.
and grandma lived to be 100 years old and got
pension.
his
That
pension for
60
60 years.
Mm-hmm.
They hated
Grandma was
her.
like, I'm not letting the nigga mess this shit up.
Hated her at the
Mm-hmm.
railroad. But
Yeah,
but I
and
do
that was
think
okay. But if grandma would have moved on and found more love and married somebody else, hey, then that's, what she
My grandma
decided to do.
did. She just didn't marry him
Oh.
because he was. My granddaddy
salutes to the
died
draws,
before
grandma.
I was
Stop.
born. He was like, no, she found somebody long term, and I used to call him granddaddy.
Oh wow.
But
In your mind, in your
Y'all
mind.
had
he
the
did not
whole
marry
fake
him.
family. Huh?
Yeah, that's old too. That's back in the day because they used to cut them Social Security checks for couples.
Mm,
So
they,
And he was okay with it
just
too. He
used
was
to
like,
live
I don't want to
together.
marry you. We
Right.
lose this money.
Let me ask this. It's a chicken and egg dynamic as we bring this to a close. Is it the court systems that have allowed for these things to go in the way in which they do as it relates to men and women arguing over the money because the court system is set up with a lack of equity and not thinking primarily about the child? Or is it the people and their emotions? Because we've already determined the child is not being put at the forefront. But is it easier not to put the child at the forefront because the courts, or is it easier that people aren't putting the child in the forefront because they can't see 2 years from now how I'm letting this emotion scar my relationship with someone that I'm going to have to, in some way, shape, or form, be around because of this child? There's going to be grandchildren. I mean, let's just think about this, okay? We all have situations where we have children, and if we're not with the people that we have children with, grandchildren will be born. Graduations will occur. Weddings will occur. You're going to have to interact. You did something to invest with this person in a human life that's going to resound, hopefully prayerfully, for a very long time to a very old age. You're going to be intermingling with this other person, good, bad, or indifferent, for the next X number of years. So you want to make it amicable if possible, for the sake of you got to keep seeing this month. You got to keep being around this person in some way, shape, or form. But is it that we're being duped or we're being misled by not only the stuff that's on the internet, as far as people in the Jeff Bezos wife or the Juanita Bryant, not Juanita Bryant, I'm sorry, not Vanessa Bryant, but Juanita Jordan. Juanita Jordan, Michael Jordan's ex-wife, and all these different people that get married, and then when they out of it, they getting a bag, and they getting all this and that, and they feel vindicated because they got paid for being married to this person and paid for having children with this person, and that's not a reason to be married or to have children.
That's not a reason to be married or have children, but I do think with Juanita Jordan, them, like she invested time. She was there for him for a long time
She was in the
to
gym.
where I don't know.
No,
Do you know that?
I
Can
think
you
she was
prove
at
that she
home with
wasn't?
the kids so
Yes.
he could be in the gym. But let me just say this. I feel like when we get the courts involved, that's the versus, because they're going to get in there and the judge is going to, or somebody's going to say, this is who versus who. And when you say versus, that's never going to be a good thing. So if you could keep the courts out of it, I think that may be a bit. I think if you could keep the courts out of it, you could probably come to a better solution. Because like I said, because you put the judge in it where he like, well, damn, they saying this and they saying this. He don't know who lying and who telling the truth. And like I said, soon as you go to court, it's going to be Reed versus Smith. That's what they say in court. And both teams come out hot.
And
And then a judge has to make a decision off of probably what is lies on both sides.
Right. So
I will
Tracy, can I
also
ask you
say I think that the court
before you
are
close?
Go ahead.
Tracy, do you see a world where, let's say, Tony could get your daughter and you could get your son, like split, and nobody pays anybody?
I wouldn't want to do that. That would have to be my kids choosing that.
You'll be okay with it?
If my kids choose that one wants to be with one parent over the other, that's a choice they make independently. That's fine. That's not something that I would want to partake in.
So you
If-
wouldn't be for it, even though the kids chose it?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying I wouldn't want to say, "Hey, you take this one, I take this one." I would say when the
No,
kids get to
I
a
would say
certain
that.
age and they decided, like, "Hey, my daughter's like, well, I don't want to be more with daddy," and my son's like, "I want to be more with you." Okay,
You would say,
I
okay.
can do that. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to just split them on my own automatically.
Okay.
If that
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. And I also was saying that I
Over.
think that the courts are a lot of times are a little bit more reactive than proactive when it comes to a lot of things too.
Can you,
When it comes to decision
yeah,
making.
you say,
Let me
what
just
do you
say
mean
that
by
for
that? Well, go ahead.
I think with the reaction, I think a lot of times is they only started coming up with different things or making judgments, or sometimes they'll look at prior cases and compare those to make judgments when it comes to different things or how things were ruled from things that they saw. It was like, for instance, child protection. Child protection wasn't just thought of. Things were happening. It was like, oh, we got to do something. Now we're starting to create this. It's always a reactive thought or reactive judgment, because these are going on and we're going to have to handle it. People are coming to us. We're going to have to figure how to do these things. It never was thought that, I think when it came to child support, like, hey, not every relationship stays together. They're divorcing. We need to already have something in place to think how this can work to be fair. I think it was, well, they bring in this, every situation different or whatever. We're figuring it out as each new situation comes along.
Let me ask you this, because and this popped into my mind when you were given that scenario. What Letta was saying was that the best case scenario is we don't get the courts involved at all. But
Mhm.
if you play in the long, and obviously we're talking about bad actors here, so let me just go into that. You play in the long game. You and I have children. I get the daughter, and the daughter is 14, and you get the son, and the son is. I'm sorry, I get the daughter, and the daughter is 9, and you get the son, and the son is 14.
Mhm.
And we don't let the courts get involved at all. You take care of those finances, I take care of these finances, blah, blah, blah. Soon as the son turns 18, the daughter is now got 4 years left. Can I take you to court for child support?
That would be something that I would like to see what happens. Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I would say no. I would say no.
Man,
not?
like that, like why? Yeah, what happened, Petty Peter?
The inflation, these eggs
Man,
that's
if you
No,
make
don't
this bread.
stop.
yeah, you should have thought about that because you
Man, what is
agreed
we
to keep
doing?
the daughter for the duration, and she agreed to keep the son for the duration. So I thought.
Yeah, till the block got hot.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
things
I
change.
thought I would think
Yeah.
that would be petty. So I would say I agree with pretty much all of y'all. I agree that I think it's when emotions got involved, we should be more mature than to go to running off to a court, make the court take care of our children. I think what Tracy was saying is more reactive because as I did research in my family years ago, that was the tradition. Like when the relationship split up, it wasn't many, but when it split up, you met a new dude and that new dude knew he had to take care of those kids and the other guy that left took care of the new kids. So that to me that was not right, but that was the way times were at that time. So I think if men take care of their kids like they should, continue doing what they used to do. Hopefully they were not bad actors and not get the emotion involved and fight with the courts. I think it would be better, but I think court should be the last resort, not the first resort. Mediation should be the medium resort, not the first resort. So, and put the child first. But I don't think this society is built for that. We're built to look at what they make and see what you can get and benefit.
Think that, and I can close with this. I think that women are hoarders, and
I think it
that.
depends on what you're gonna say if you gonna close.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
I was trying to sneak it in.
Cause how this going, I'm sure gonna have a rebuttal.
I'm trying to sneak it in. So let me give y'all this scenario. This is what happens. My spouse leaves me, and then I get caught up in the alimony child support situation because she says that the needs of the child are facilitated, and she brings a case to the judge, and the judge is like, "Yep, he needs this school, he needs those shoes, he needs those braces, blah blah blah." But then one of her stipulations for a new fella is that he has to be financially able to take care of her and her child as a package deal.
Why you care about what she got going on in her
Because she's double
private
dipping.
life?
That's double support.
She's double supported now.
Okay,
And the idea that because she
but
wants
your
this dude.
support is for the child.
Wait a second. So
Your
then her new
support is not
boyfriend doesn't do anything for the child? Because you know that doesn't make sense. You know she wants the boyfriend to take him
But
to
what
get
if
his
he
hair cut.
doesn't? But what if he? I mean, but you and her part, you all in her business.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that.
Yeah, are
But
you kidding me?
what he eat don't make you use the bathroom, so
But
why does it
You
matter?
all up in hers. I mean,
because you
that's what I
just
said.
leveled a case that the child's needs were being facilitated by the
doing
father.
too much counting, sir. You're doing too much counting.
It sounds like it be the men that be more petty with the
Oh,
counting than the
oh,
women do.
At least these two.
That was my
Prove
thought. That was my
the
final
point though. No,
that
so
was my
I
point.
believe if a woman is not working and she's not lazy, she should get money if the relationship split because she had a part in building that relationship. That dude probably don't get those promotions without her washing and ironing the clothes, keeping the house clean, feeding him and all that stuff. So I do believe she gets that. But if she has moved on, got a new dude doing everything, he should still pay his part, but I don't think he should pay above and beyond.
I don't think the above and beyond should ever come in, but he should still do his part. But like I said, y'all doing a lot of counting about her other relationships. Y'all just are y'all stalking her? How y'all know she got another dude?
But think about it.
How y'all know he
Let's
works?
do the counting. If she gets another dude, if she gets
Yes.
married, the alimony is canceled.
It's canceled.
What
But I'm talking
Are we
about
talking about alimony or child support?
So I'm speaking of the child support because now let's flip it. I am seeking the attentions of a woman who has a child, and that child is 11, 12 years old, doesn't matter the age, but I'm starting to think, well, that I don't have to do nothing for this kid because you told me that he has an active father in his life and he pays his child support and this and that. But you know a woman ain't going for that. She's not going for me saying I'm not doing nothing for your son because his daddy already there doing stuff. So she's double dipping.
Allegedly.
So at some point though, we do have to call the dude a simp.
The new dude?
Yeah.
And this and I've lived this. This is where you make the edict that I'm not gonna have a chick that's got kids. because I don't want to have a situation where she's coming out ahead no matter how you look at it.
You've had a chick that asked you to pay for
Hater.
her children?
Yeah, like haircuts and stuff like that. Yeah, and take them out to teach them. Yeah, it
Chuck E.
goes
Cheese,
beyond.
huh?
Say it again, excuse me. Right,
And you
it's show
did
biz.
Okay. You know I'll be listening to music.
And you did it though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
I
Yeah.
did. I did.
Uh-huh.
But I did it with because it
But
once.
you had a cape on. I'm gonna say you
Yeah, I did. Here's the situation, but it's only a matter of time before you start to evaluate. She was bitter with the ex, and she was
Oh.
diligent about the child support and going back and getting, it reevaluated, this and that.
And
Also
then
wanting
you
to
had a kid, but
replace.
did you turn around and had a kid by her?
No, I didn't have a kid by this lady.
Okay, cool.
But what happens is you start to realize that, okay, she wants you to replace him, but he's still here. She want a new dad for her
But
kid.
again, you're
but
doing
her
too much
damn
So
not
counseling.
do
dad.
you
No, you're not counting appropriately. So
Right.
you
do you
only
build a
have a certain budget
relationship?
for that relationship.
But that goes back to you knew who this hoe was, but you act like you did.
If you gotta spend $200 a week on this relationship and she wants him to get a haircut, it goes down to $160 for her.
Wow.
So like, are you saying you don't spend time, you don't build a relationship with this kid, you don't do nothing with this kid if you're dating somebody with a kid because they daddy involved?
What I'm saying is she shouldn't have expectations of me to be another dad, financially, emotionally, or otherwise, to this child, because why does this child need multiple dads?
So you just a nigga that live there.
Oh, God.
Excuse me.
Ober can edit
No, he don't.
the
He
N
did
word
the damn thing. Look,
I think I like the name.
y'all building a simp. Y'all don't realize what y'all did is just built a victim. I am casting myself as a victim here.
Yeah,
What am I?
most men do. Most men do in child support
my
cases.
God.
It's okay. It's okay.
So these women having these expectations is appropriate.
I didn't say that, but what I said was most men in these situations that are speaking how you and Oberyn have described in these situations are the victim.
Yeah, they got robbed.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of men
Yeah.
too where they've had a child, they've met a woman, and they want the woman to kind of step in like a mom, do mommy duties when their child is at their house.
Let me ask you this. You have children. Your husband divorces you. He meets a woman and asks her to step in as a mom. How does that work on your behalf? When you find out about it, how does that work?
Thank and you. Less for me to do.
It's like when they're at their house, I would hope that my baby can get her hair combed. You know what I'm saying? Or, just whatever, like, things are moving. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with that.
It's all cool until the mascara come on and the Lee press-on nails come on. And then you like, hold up. Why is
Well,
Juanita?
I do think there's things that have, like, at that point, it's like, well, wait a minute. We need to have a conversation. But
Really?
if I'm not allowing my child, this might be a
See?
totally different conversation, though, too, because now we get into another part.
Okay.
When you have kids involved, when it comes to discipline, are those conversations you had before? How do you handle that? When it comes to rules, if it's a rule at your house that they can't do something, but when they come to your house, you say it's okay. So when they're at their house, they can do this, and then it immediately changes when they go to your house, whether it's, maybe dating or wearing certain clothes or things like that. Do we have two sets of wardrobes? There's just like so many things I have so many questions about that goes into that.
Yeah, it's 2 sets of rules.
Absolutely. Ain't nobody running over here but us.
Yeah.
And so do you allow the other parent
No.
to have
What part of
Well,
ain't
Daddy, can
nobody
I finish?
over? Because you missed the part where ain't nobody running over here but us.
Right.
And then you went right back to, well, do you allow?
Right.
Well, I'm saying, like, do you allow the other parent? Do y'all
Hell
talk about the rules or
no.
anything?
No, you can't. That's why we didn't work out. We had two different ideas of
No,
rules.
you not running over here.
Right.
You run over there.
You can't call no shots at my house.
And not a one.
And
So
I
what y'all
can't expect to call no shots at your house.
Ain't gonna try to.
So what I'm hearing y'all say is okay for step parents to whoop y'all children.
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. That's not what we said. Separate rules. You took it to a whole another level.
Well, I was trying to ask, like, do you guys come and talk about things? I wasn't saying that they come and put rules in your house, but like, do you allow this person, like, we got this going on, we talking about this, we need to have conversations. Do you allow them to have input in the conversation so everybody can be on the same page to deal with
They
any
can't
form of
even agree on braces, T. No, they not
Look,
having these conversations.
if we have the same set of rules, we might as well move back into the same house.
And again, it goes back to a lot of things like that. Here's a situation, and I can speak openly for me because I was in a step parent role. There would be no reason I would want to discipline my stepdaughter
Really?
physically. No.
As
No.
the
And you know,
adult?
I would get on you about doing it.
As the adult, though, in the home, that when the child needs to have a stern hand, you just let the child be rambunctious and
No, I'm going to say, hey, don't do that. But there would never be a reason. Like, why wouldn't you handle that?
And see, that's so funny because y'all is talking about discipline as far as corporal punishment, but
Yeah.
some people don't even want you to say nothing to their kid point blank,
Mhm.
period.
Oh, I'll be damned.
So then it's kind of like,
But
you
the
know,
thing
your
is-
Damn,
Because
now,
all
damn, wait a
things-
second now. Wait a
No,
second.
because I'm
I
not
can
going
cuss
to
her
put
out
my
and spit her
hand.
face.
I'm
But
not going to put my hand on somebody else's child.
all abuse is
like
not
that.
physical. All abuse is not physical. I don't know if
But
you read the books.
and I know that, but I don't believe that there would ever be a situation where I would need to physically whoop my stepchild. But I'll be damned if I'm disrespected in my house. That's absolutely not going to happen from anybody's.
So how do you
Mine
stop
and-
that when it starts to occur?
You know me.
Oh, by whooping. By
No.
No, you don't go rogue.
No. You ain't got to whoop to get your point across. You don't have to whoop to get your point across.
And so,
Sydney's.
yeah.
How many times have I whooped Sydney to get my point across? You don't have to whoop. It doesn't have to be physical to get your point across.
The
And
threat
let
of
somebody
violence. I
know
believe the
that you're
threat
not going
of
to be
violence.
disrespected. What?
But that comes with the threat of violence as a repercussion.
But we
Yeah.
talked about
It comes with the
how much of the
unknown.
kid is yours, how much of the kid. I wouldn't whoop a stepchild
No, I wouldn't either.
rogue without even talking to the other parent.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Like,
Y'all not
Would you
doing
do
it right. Y'all not
punishment
doing it
without
right.
talking to the other parent? Like, would you ground?
Yes.
if I live in the house, ground someone in my house, yeah. But I
Yes,
would
absolutely.
How do you
But you
enforce
just-
that? How do you enforce the grounding then, sir?
no, I would still talk to the other parent that lives with me. This
Or
is
you
what
sit with
happened.
them?
Your child came home and did this, and
Mhm.
this is what I think we should do. Do you agree?
See, I don't like that you did that because you said your child came home and did this, and this is what we should do. It's
Right.
either our child or it's not. At
No,
that
no,
point.
no. It's our house. No, I
There you go.
can't put my DNA inside the child.
Okay.
There you go. I'm with you, Oprah. I'm with you when you're right.
So you feel okay like disciplining that form, but just not paying for haircuts.
I didn't say I wouldn't pay for haircuts. It's not my duty. If it's the child's gift from me, I'll pay for the haircut. But you're not making that my responsibility, and you getting child support that pays for this. I'm sure glad I got a man. I don't have to pay for no more haircuts. No.
So I guess it's saying, do you also feel like it's your duty and your responsibility to be involved in that if the child is at your?
And the child to build a relationship, yeah.
Yes,
Like it's
absolutely.
part of the other
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, I can build a
None of this isn't going to work. It's not going to work if you don't try to build a relationship with the
Yeah.
kid collectively and individually.
Yeah, and
It's not gonna
we
work.
playing
Let me just say this
basketball,
because y'all
watching
not
cartoons.
y'all not thinking about this in an angle that I wish you would, and I hope that the listeners can understand this. If you are a man and you get with a woman and she has a young boy, and you do not have the ability to discipline that young boy, that young boy 6, 7, 8 years old. By the time that young boy is 15 years old, it's a problem in the house. She can't exact the same level of discipline to that young boy that you can. I'm not saying beat the brakes off of him. But what I am saying is once he realizes you can't do anything but go off in the illusion of threats, it's going to turn out to be bad. Why don't y'all see that?
What you talking about threats?
Well, Letta was saying they know. They know I can, at any point in time go
But
crazy.
they do know. They know that I live here too, and they could not come back here. The disrespect won't happen.
So you going to kick them out as opposed to just old-fashioned punishment, capital punishment?
Either we gonna get this child straight or I'm gonna get this child straight, but not in my house. You gonna let somebody come in and disrespect my house? Now you disrespecting me. Now y'all against me. This Bloods and Crips. You know that. Well, Letta, what do you think? You think if the child parent continues to let the child disrespect you, they can keep coming into your house?
No, no, no. They both can go because I don't even want this man no more to be okay
Oh,
with.
dang.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not the
yeah.
child disrespecting me, it's both of y'all disrespecting.
It's both. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're allowing it. You're allowing it. And so I have to say, you know what? I got to put my mask on first, and both of you can go.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. The end.
Both of y'all get COVID.
Man.
I don't have a point beyond that. I just think that it's short-sighted to think that the kid is just gonna be oblivious to the fact that I can do stuff without something happening, or I'm 14, 15, and my mama go handle it. I just think that that's not.
The kid may be right. They can do stuff without stuff happening, but they not doing that in my house.
Not over here.
Right.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
Like I always say, over there.
Two things
Yeah,
can be true.
That's right.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I
I
think
got
you short-sighted to act like you just want to whoop somebody else's kid, and
Mm-mm.
that's not gonna happen because we can split tomorrow, and you can get somebody, and she can put her hands on Sydney if she want to, and I'ma hurt you and her.
Wow.
Yeah, the end. It's time for Hollow Points to come to a close.